Tell me about your first love or your first kiss.
Oh, that was... Well, family of 7 children. I'm number 6, and I was born during the Depression. So, and then World War II started, and of course I saw it all. And then of course the Korean War started, so I was in it. I've been in business for myself. I installed intercommunicating systems for commercial businesses, sound systems and paging and automatic telephone systems. And when that went bad because I didn't have digital electronics, I started working in a grocery store. So I was the supervisor at my stocking store. And I also did handyman work around Brexville where I lived at the time. So it did okay. And we have six children of our own. They're all successful. That's the greatest asset I think that I have is my children are all good. And there's no drunks and no druggies, and we're pretty fortunate for that.
Well, I was married then and decided we'd travel. But my husband wasn't too much for traveling. So I happened to have a wonderful girlfriend. So we went all over the United States, but we missed 2 states. That was Alaska and Hawaii. My husband was stationed in Hawaii for 2 years in the service. So he did not want me to go. And then Alaska, I wasn't too interested in Alaska. But we did take nice trip, a 12-day trip to Europe. So I took in about 7 countries over there. So I've been around and I love traveling.
I grew up in Indianapolis, Indiana. Went to college in Galesburg, Illinois, a little school, 600 students. Then I went to grad school in Northwestern in Chicago, Evanston.
And what did you major in?
Chemistry.
At 85, they think I'm pretty well. I can say I've been working a bunch of puzzles around here, and I'm able to solve them pretty good. I do remember a lot of things, and they say for your age, I remember a lot more than most of the people. So I do have a certain amount of memory loss, that goes along with the age. So I'm pretty fortunate. I have physical problems, but my brain is fine. So.
I think they would describe me as quiet, funny if they get to know me. And
Very ambitious and a lot of fun to be with.
Memory? Every time I had one of those good kids. We were fortunate. They're all, nice kids, and we have great grandchildren and also great grandchildren now. So we got a whole family, slow of us.
Oh, my wonderful family. I came from a Christian home, and I had wonderful 3 sisters, 1 brother, and a wonderful mother and dad. That's what makes me happy. Now they're all gone. I'm the last one.
Well, there was a girl I liked in the 7th grade. Her name was Hilda, and we just never clicked, I guess. So. But she got married and she had children, and none of them they all died at birth. So I look at her and say, I was fortunate. She wasn't so much. She did have one, and she's been still taking care of him now, and he's 60-some years old. So I am fortunate that we do have good children. They're all in really great positions in their jobs. I think that's worth more than money.
Well, I was the person, I wasn't too anxious about really getting married at that time. So he was a very patient, lovable person. And I told myself, I'm going to hold off to make sure this is what I want. I dated him for 2 years and had a long time to find the right house that we wanted. So I found the right house. I met him at a dance over here in Akron. I love to dance. And he came with his buddy and I came with my friend, a girlfriend. So we sort of got together very easily on a intermission for a donut coffee break. And right off the bat, I didn't think he was going to be ever my husband. But it did happen, but he had me on his mind.
We met in high school and dated in high school. And then when we graduated, she went to work and I moved away to college for 3 years and then came home and we got married. And she put me through 1 year of college and 4 years of grad school. And then she was able to quit work. I went to work.
Well, I used to install a music system for at St. Catherine's Church in Cleveland for the kids to have a Saturday night dance. So I carried all this stuff over. You know, the owner of my store let me take this stuff over there and set it up for him. And this one night, this girl comes to me and she said, "Would you mind taking me home?" And I said, "No." Well, she said, "Well, this guy wants to take me home and I don't want to go home with him." So that's how we got together. So, and probably we kissed goodnight, I guess. So I was, at the time, I think I was 20 years old. She was, 18, just getting out of high school. And we went through the war and stuff.
For the time I was in high school, as soon as I took a chemistry course, I knew, I also majored in art in high school. So I was an art and science major. And I ended up with art as a hobby after I started to work.
And what kind of art do you do?
I did watercolors. I got in a couple of shows with the Ohio Watercolor Society. Used to do art in the park every year. I was president of the Medina Art League for a while.
I think I became a man when they started attacking us when I was on the front lines. And the machine gunner got shot in the shoulder, so he was out of commission. And I stepped in and took over the machine gun. And I'm not proud of the fact, but I did save a lot of our American lives because of it. If they'd gotten behind us because we were lacking that firepower, I think that defines me more than anything. I became a man. You had to step in and do what you had to do. So, and I'm lucky that I'm here. Well, I'm on a troop ship from the United States after 11 days. We went by boat back then, or ship, I should say. And I was immediately pulled out because I had been in what they call leadership school at Fort Leonard Wood. And I was sent to a place called Itajima in Japan, which was the Annapolis for the Japanese Navy officers. It was a beautiful place to go. And I had this course on chemical, biological, and radiological warfare. Well, that sent me, when I got out of it, I was sent directly to the front lines because I was giving this class in the dugouts I'd go from one dugout to the next one, and I had 18 miles of frontage I had to go through. And I was up there almost 6 months. And then I went back with my combat engineer outfit. They were about three-quarters of a mile behind the front lines. And became the combo repairman there. Well, then, when I left Korea, I stayed for an extra 6 months to train what they call Katusis. They're Korean Army ROK officers, and I was teaching them about electronics and sound systems and telephones and radios and things like that. And along the way, my combat engineer outfit built a tent city up by Panmunjom, and I had installed 23 radios in all our vehicles. So that was in 1 week I had to do that. And then I left Korea and got a trip clear around the world. And went all through the Indian Ocean to Africa. We stopped in Ceylon, which is called Sri Lanka today. We stopped in India. We were in Djibouti, which is the part of French Somalia, where that's where the pirates have been stealing ships. Then we went to Ethiopia. Then we went to Egypt through the Red Sea, and to Izmir, Turkey, where we were dropping off more troops that had been in Korean War, the Turks. And when we went to Athens, Greece, we dropped them off there. And the time I got back to New York from leaving Korea was 3 months. So quite a long trip. But I have circumcised the whole world, 25,000 miles. So. And then I went into business. Well, I was working for another guy for a while. Then he went bankrupt, so I assumed his customers. So I had a customer base to start out with. In fact, one of my first customers was Sacred Heart Church here in Wadsworth, and putting a little telephone system out there for him. But then from there, I went to huge telephone systems. So, and here I am. Now I'm taking care of my wife, so that's why I'm here, so, for her. I wish the kids would quit smoking. That's my greatest wish. I keep harping on about it without getting too obnoxious about it. I tell them, hey, thanks for paying for our ballpark with your smoking, but there's better insurance than that. And of course, the smoking leads to drugs too. You know that, and I know that.
Well, choices, what they should stay away is from drugs and all that, you know that. Because that's ruining a lot of young people. And their choices are get ambition and make a goal so you know what you want to do in life. Too many people don't know till they even graduate out of college which way they want to go. Why is that? Sometimes a good teacher will guide them.
I don't know what they're thinking. They've changed the thinking that we used to have. Things we would never think of doing. It's commonplace now. And I think they've got to go back and get some old values. Maybe they get find out from some of us what we did. Hey, I'll be honest with you. I never had sex until my wedding night. So now it's commonplace. I think they're too young. They need to establish themselves first. And I think that's important to them. Get some schooling and then get married.
I think just be honest as much as possible. Try not to fabricate anything. Just be honest and be kind to everybody, especially the people who work for you. Secretaries, other workers, co-workers, and hope that your boss will be kind to you.
Treat others like you want to be treated yourself, but always be honest. Give them more than what they ask for. doesn't hurt. I get a certain amount of joy out of giving stuff to people. And I'm glad I have the wherewithal to do it. And you asked me to help you? Yep. Oh, come along. I do have 3 sons who are Eagle Scouts to my own. But I never got into scouting because I was in the Depression. So, I mean, they're all doing excellent in their jobs. So. One's a CFO over here on Route 18 for that Panther Logistics. So he's got a pretty nice job.
You've got to be a good Christian. You have to have honesty. The people will trust you, because I've had supervision for about 28 years. And from there I went into another office. Well, I had 18 girls there at that time in about 3 departments. I was loaded. So I decided I need a new challenge. So I went to this B&W. You heard of B&W? And I was a bookkeeper and an accountant. That was my title. And I really love figures, math.
My legacy is really my family. That's how I am immortal, through my family. I have children, grandchildren, some of whom share my DNA.
Probably my children, my grandchildren, and my great-grandchildren. They're all very smart little guys. They all can use the computer, and we read on them from the little ones all the way up to the big ones.
Well, just to live a wholesome life and a good Christian life, and try to keep people going on the right path. You know where the right path is? Well, to me, it's you've gotta know the direction you're headed. And too many people switch around on jobs. They don't get a chance on the one they had. Or they could be promoted if they stayed around. You've got to have patience and perseverance.
You always will be there, and there's nothing to it, but somehow you always understand. There's no way to wake up now, and too many times I saw you cry.